I'm going to do this lentil moussaka with a bit of a slant. So instead of doing the white sauce, which is usually, you know, you've got a couple of cups of milk, flour, and some of you may do dairy-free and use a different nut milk. I love this because it's another way of increasing your veggie content. So I'm going to use nothing but beautiful cauliflower and make this a cauli white sauce. So not cauliflower in white sauce, but cauliflower white sauce. So I'm going to do this slightly different to the recipe. So I'll just go through the whole recipe here, which is usually starting out weighing in your lentils and water and soaking them. Then grating your cheese. Okay, we're just going to park that for a moment because what I'm going to do with this is actually going to steam the eggplant and cook the cauliflower underneath at the same time. So this will just mean then I'll go back and do the lentil tomato filling base after I've steamed. So if you've got two Thermomixes, of course you can do both together, but I'm just going to step you through how I would do it if I only had one Thermomix. So I've got some eggplant, cut them up here. Sometimes it might just be a little bit smaller than the usual. And that's where I'll just use another veggie like zucchini. So it's asking me to load up aroma dish with eggplant, 14 grams, so you can ounces, you can weigh that in when you come to do it. And it wants to make sure that there's some holes so the steam can get around. What I'm going to do is also add my Varoma tray and pop a few zucchini just to make sure, because it was a smaller eggplant and we want to have enough of the base. So I'm going to add zucchini and I've got that ready to go. All right, then it would call for you to saute your onions and start doing your lentil dish. So what I'm going to do instead, in steaming up my cauli, I'm going to use the blade cover. Just pop that in. Okay, I'm going to chop cauli down. This is quite a good size cauli, so it may not all fit in there. Oh, it's so good. It's a white veggie. It's one of those good white veggies, because often we say avoid the whites, like white potato, white rice, if you're wanting to do a lower glycemic, low carb kind of a diet, but not with cauli. Cauli's great. You have to get a cauli every week and build a recipe around it. So we're just going to squeeze as much of that in as we can. And I'm just going to add my water. Okay, this is going to steam and also boil, because what doesn't fit in under the water will be steamed, of course. So the key here is not to overfill. I'm going to do about probably about 1.2 litres of water. You can just see the watermark coming up there. Okay, I'm going to also add some stock paste. So you can pop some salt and pepper in this stage if you want to, or you can add it after. Because basically we're just going to steam this for about 20 minutes. And once that cauliflower's cooked through and the eggplant on top, we'll be then blending the cauli up with a bit of reserve liquid that we're cooking it in, with about a half a cup of milk. So this is pretty much going to be a flourless white sauce. You can use a little bit of butter and salt and pepper, of course, and turn this into a creamy, light consistency, which pretty much is going to then become your white sauce that you'll pour in on top and place in your baking tray with your moussaka. So let's just skip this. I like this recipe because it's got capsicum and a few extra things that our Australian platform Lentil Moussaka doesn't have. So take a look at that, compare recipes. Sometimes you can use a bit of both. And so for 20 minutes, that's going to steam. So if I get clever and I can stitch this together with the end result, I will. If not, you can understand that I'm just steaming the cauliflower, adding around about a cup of the steaming liquid. We're going to drain the cauliflower and then add a cup back to it and blend that up. Now you may like to saute some garlic before you do that and then make that creamy consistency of a white sauce to pour on top of anything, really. I enjoy this cauliflower sauce because it's just so versatile. You can put it through fettuccine, where you'd use sour cream or cream, a couple of our pasta dishes that we have. If I've got a couple of cups of this aside, it's great. I can virtually use it as a creamy base. Sometimes even, you know, topping like a pizza or a, yeah, it's just all up to your imagination. And I just think that it's great. You're smuggling those extra veggies in. It's a pretty versatile veggie because it takes on the flavour of whatever you use with it. So by adding garlic, butter, salt and pepper, you're left with a really yummy, creamy sauce. So have a go at that. Okay, we've steamed cauli and we've drained it. I've just added a couple of cloves of garlic and sauteed it. I've placed my eggplant here in the basket, in the baking dish, while I'm putting the basket over there. All right, we can put in a couple of tablespoons of butter, teaspoon salt, some black pepper, and I'm just going to add some of the reserve cooking liquid. Just got a bit of stock in there, about 3/4 of a cup, and I usually would add some milk to that as well. But I'm going to leave the milk out today. Just going to give it a go. Let's just park this, give this a blend. Okay, so meanwhile, with 2 Thermomixes, I've cooked up the Lentil Moussaka mix. So I've got that here. Pop that in there. And I probably chose a little bit of a shallow dish, which is okay. I've put a lot of extra veg in that. So here we go. Just keep in mind you need a little bit of of room for that cauli white sauce. Now you can just be the judge on this as to how smooth, silky and sauce-like you want it. But I've done what that's been, just around 3/4 of a cup. So I think I find that enough. Smells so good. Oh, so there's my white cauliflower sauce on top of my lentil moussaka. Give it a good dose. Parmesan. Woohoo! And we're going to get that in the oven. And that now bakes for about a half an hour. Let's see what it says. Cover. There's your white sauce that you didn't have to make. Cover, sprinkle, bake for 30 minutes on a moderate oven. It's lovely. You really enjoy it. I think that this little twist is something that you might do regularly in your family repertoire. Bon appetit.